Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's daily brief. Happy Friday. It's kind of a funny day here today, everybody, in that, of course, we had a holiday yesterday. And Julian was contemplating doing a video yesterday, but because of the holiday and the sort of lack of volatility in the market, I think he thought maybe he would do his presentation today. Maybe he would do. There's one person, Nori, you're over there on YouTube all by yourself. Anyway, guten Tagen, happy Nore Day. But hey, we got 2 likes. How does that work? All right, you're doing double duty today. Way to go, dude. Hey, there's Dave. Hey, I haven't seen Dave in a while. Great to see you, Dave. Hey, look at all the people piling in. Woo! It's a party. Anyway, good morning, all you guys. And I think we're doing a Zoom call here today. I think Julian likes to do the Zoom. I'm not really big on being seen on camera, and you see, like, I've got screens over there and over there and over there, so my head's bobbing up and down like a bobblehead. So anyway, but anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Like I said, kind of a little bit of an odd day here because we had a U.S. holiday yesterday. I think that it's a shortened trading session. Of course, the Europeans, in fact, I was just having fun paper trading crude oil through the European close. Made a couple bucks, lost a couple bucks. Not really anything serious, just having fun flipping crude oil through that. But they're now gone. Right? 8:30 is their pivot time. Let's see. But markets are, well, I guess maybe, I guess everything's open. Yeah, 25th. I don't know, there's some markets. I suppose the whole world is now fully immersed in World Cup. And congratulations to the Saudi Arabians knocking off one of the world's big boys, the Argentinians, if I'm not mistaken. Chris did report that Portugal is winning, so I suppose that's going to make all the local Portuguese happy. Is the stock market open on Black Friday? So, I have been watching prices go up and down, up and down. This U.S. stock market is open on Black Friday, but we'll have limited trading hours. So we might even find that the trading might even be done by now. Closes early on 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 10 o'clock my time. So that's basically in 1 hour, or I guess about 57 minutes. Then we'll go into sort of weekend trading mode. And of course, crypto, oh boy, get ready. Should be some fireworks. So, there is your day. A little bit of a dangerous market up top here. I don't like this. This is, I suppose this is where if you just, blindly trade algos and stuff, yeah, we are getting or we got sort of a weak sell signal there. Now that the teal is, pointing over, if we do roll over and the teal's pointing down, probably get a strong sell signal there. But dangerous nosebleedy territory again, and I don't like it when I see all the breadth indicators, everything all creeping up into the overbought zones here. We're not technically overbought yet, but one thing that kind of bothered me recently is the bond market has jumped up into this danger zone here again, and we could be in for some trouble. And of course, this kind of makes sense because this was the whole reason why the market broke to begin with, was the bond market was unhappy. Enjoyed a nice dead cat bounce. We've all been sort of bouncing into the end of the year, but then, oh boy, what does 2023 have in store for us? And of course, you probably don't need to hear me say it repeatedly, but Benner cycle 2023 it could be a bit of a challenging start to the year. So today is Friday. So like I said, shortened session. Julian did said he was going to pop on here and maybe would do this broadcast a bit together. So we actually have the Zoom call set up because you guys all like your baby powder report. So we have this Zoom call going here today, and Julian should join us at some point. Of course, he and the entire marketing team have been feverishly working away on TRIs along with everybody. I think it's just a general theme this time of year. Although I'm not quite sure which page I have all this stuff on. But actually, I think the banner right up here will do fine. It is Black Friday. Dun dun dun. And we have primarily, I think, the school program is. I think this would be the big sort of sell, and if I'm not mistaken, I think anybody who did put their name in their contact sheet would have gotten an email somewhat along these lines that the Black Friday deal is up. And we've tried very, very hard to keep the prices low, in this crazy inflation environment. It's kind of nuts. So we've tried really, really hard to keep to that lower than 1,000 price point. Unfortunately, I think we have no choice in the new year. I think we have to raise it up to like 1,100-1,200. But for you guys, to give you a nice treat, we actually knocked $100 off of the base price program, and actually these prices are also discounted as well. I think the boys they went into some of the discounts here. So I thought it was interesting. I didn't specifically go through it, but from what I understand, if we look at generally speaking, we have pretty good reviews. So there's some very interesting comments and feedback from people who have taken the program. And the message repeatedly is we get really, really good value for this program. And we've talked lots about this. I mean, the irony of this investing game is that you got to treat it like a business. On our Wednesday show with Paul, treat the market like a business, and the market will treat you like a king. That means you got to learn how to build your business. What are manage expectations? I thought it was interesting. I was chatting with actually one of the gentlemen who actually took the program from day one. He was this gentleman was in TradingView chatting with us about Bitcoins back in 2013, 2014, and he's still reaching out and saying hi. Oh, I'm thinking about you. It's kind of funny, right? This is the typical sort of public reaction to technical analysis. Yeah, it's up, and oh yeah, so yeah, this is a bull, right? So look at my chart, and then the market doesn't cooperate, and all of a sudden the chart's got 20 different lines and 5 different squiggles and 3 different captions and all that. So this is the typical sort of TA rhetoric. Is it just gets messier and messier, and squiggly lines are half of this battle, but believe it or not, the bigger, harder part of this battle is actually managing this guy, you, and just keeping your head on straight. And is there some sort of methodology to your madness? Unfortunately, the market's just going to do what the market does. It's just the way that it is. what often ends up happening is people often like overanalyze to try and explain why things are happening when really just try and keep it as simple as possible. What are your three unrelated reasons for acting? If the market proves you wrong, are you going to get out and obey risk and just live to fight another day? And that's really what we teach people. And I think that this is what is the big difference maker in whether you're going to succeed at this. It has very little to do with the squiggly lines and everything to do with just you managing your own emotions and expectations. I know we so primarily our big sort of Black Friday event, like the banner says here, is the school program. We also have a Black Friday deal for the breadth indicator. And I'm wondering, Josh, you're on the call here. Do you have that link handy? Because I just don't seem to have that right in front of me. Brian doing a great presentation so far. Okay. Yeah, so I guess Julian has joined the call now. Have you got a microphone? Has Julian got a microphone?
Hello, hello. Yeah, I actually brought the mini microphone, my mini one, and I guess I have like a big Blue Yeti at my studio in Bangkok, and then I brought my little Blue Yeti with me, and it was working when I left, and now I just plugged it in and it's not turning on. So I something might have came loose in the luggage. I don't know how I sound right now, but I'm using I'm using my default one on my laptop.
Oh yeah, something just changed there.
Is it better or worse in that change?
I don't know, Chris. Maybe you give feedback. What do you think?
Sounding sounds better. Yeah. All right. Well, it's just my laptop speaker because the little Blue Yeti one's not working. And the internet's not the best here, so I don't want to even turn my camera on. I already got kicked from the room one time. But yeah, Brian, you're doing a great job. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm saying, but if you say I'm doing a good job, awesome. What I wanted to see was I had the pages up here. Maybe I don't know why I got rid of them. But I want to show the good people the TRI breadth. Maybe it's over here. Oh, I gotta get some hardware for my computer so it stops crashing. Chris was helping me look at stuff. Anyway, got to deal with that later. But I thought I had on here the TRI. And Josh, if you happen to have it handy, maybe you can post a link, or I guess anybody. I thought I had on here the, like I said, this Black Friday deal for the school program is awesome. And hey, Eddie, Eddie, you're awesome. Thank you, Eddie. What would we do without you? There we go. So we also, and I think this is primarily for site members. So we really want to sort of encourage site members just to get the dashboard up and running and using it on a regular basis. And so again, in this hyperinflation world, I mean, Jesus, things are going crazy. But this is a nice sort of overview page. I think Josh and the marketing team are sending this out in an email. It's a pretty page. I mean, it's so pretty the way they did it. And Julian actually did a whole bunch of testing and backed out, and maybe he can talk a little bit about this when he's up for it. I have to say, the breadth indicator is kicking butt. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. I would like to have all of you guys on board with this, and I think it'll make a difference in your lives. And you can see we're giving you guys a pretty substantial discount here over what we'll probably be charging in the new year. So just if you can take advantage of it, I would highly encourage you to. We'll be talking more and more off of this page, and I mean, just even the key reversal screeners alone, I think, pays for this subscription with just one or two trades. But things like just positioning yourself. I mean, it's like evolutionary. This signaling system. The issue here, though, is you have to be patient and you have to be disciplined, and you just have to wait for the signals. But when these darn bread signals come in, I think they're just knock the cover off the ball. Solid signals. And I think I could easily justify the subscription. And just FYI, I thought it was interesting, for the level oneers, when they just started this school term, we had this buy signal come in on the stock market, big double bottoms. Of course, like I just showed you there a second ago, the breadth indicator, flashing massively oversold condition in the stock market, W's in the breadth indicator with the teal pointing up. I mean, just as sexy as buy signal, and you can see what the darn market's done. And, for the record, and all you current level oneers, I asked you, at the beginning of this program, we were right in the middle of the bear and everybody was thinking it's the end of the world. And I said to all level oneers, and I can think of one level oneer in particular, you are here to learn the process. And, that's all about this. Oh, no, not this. This. You are all here to learn about this. Like, how do you run your small business of trading, and the irony of it all, and if you need some help trying to figure out what other people are thinking about the program. But I specific, and this is part of sort of the site package, just being here every day. I told every single level oneer, at the very least, I want you paper trading this. And of course, in level one, I think it's a good idea to do at least a good 100 paper trades so that you really understand this thing called the process. And I can tell you back here, if I had just gone out publicly and said, man, within a month or two, we'll have the market right back up at the summer highs, pressing higher, they would say you're crazy. Sure enough, here we are, 2-to-1 risk reward, bang. And this is a 2-to-1 risk reward off of actually a very, very conservative setup. This is called a cup and handle formation. And the actual buy signal comes in, and off of that little tweet that I put out, the actual buy signal comes in off of this is what's known as an outside upside engulfing bar. I mean, I don't know whether you're going to use just the engulfing bar level alone. You see how the market could not go through that low, but actually the engulfing bars 2-to-1 was actually hit right there. Just bang, 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 bang. So, no doubt about it. If you are here to time purchases to make money from trading, this is an extremely difficult trade to take, because almost everybody in the world, a lot of social media people were like, oh, stock market's going to zero kind of stuff here. And yet, this is actually what they call climbing the wall of worry. And sure enough, if you were patient and disciplined and you had your orders working at appropriate levels, ding, 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 you just got paid there. That's what you're here to learn. You are here to learn how to do this. And it's our great privilege to give you a nice big fat discount off of the regular price today. So take advantage of it if you can. And unfortunately, crazy inflation world, prices are going to go nowhere but up heading down the road. As I said there just a moment ago, we're actually, to be perfectly honest with you, we've just got this. I mean, we've been working on it for about 4 or 5 years, but we've just got this breadth indicator now to the point where I think it's getting to the point it's a sellable, marketable product. I think it can make a material difference in your trading. And actually, what I'm really excited about, and it's just really a question of us just putting all the pieces together. But to be honest with you, I'm really excited about getting these trading strategies up and running, funding it hell with even my own money. and capturing these returns, because these numbers are startling. So if anything, we've got Julian on the call. Maybe he and I can commit to running these plans in earnest, in reality. And actually, next year it won't be, well, the back testing and all the paper trading, 100 trades to validate the setup, all that kind of stuff has been done. And these will actually be solid numbers that we can work with and say, yeah, man, we're killing the market here with this beautiful little system we've built. Also, too, there is lots of development underway. I know Sjord, for example, is working away on algoritmizing the bot. So hopefully that'll be coming down the pike too as well. So anyway, there's your sales pitch for TRI, Black Fridays, all that kind of fun stuff. Probably Julian's probably did a better job at selling this than I can.
No, you're just explaining how it works. It's not a, so guys, yeah, I mean, Brian, can you go back and show your screen with the breath and the results? I can talk about it a little bit if anybody's interested.
Which says that, is that this one?
The page with the results, that one, yeah.
Yeah, all this, yeah.
I'm not sure why it says free trial in the top right, but
free.
Yeah, so
okay.
I don't know why it says free trial. That doesn't make any sense, but it's okay. So if you go up a little bit more. So we traded, we did, yeah. So we did a couple, scroll back down, scroll those. So Josh and I did these back tests and we took trades. The reason it says spot only is because it really was spot only with everything. So for example, the S&P, it was just on spot as if you bought shares in the S&P 500. And then the next one was just NASDAQ QQQs, just straight buying shares, short and long. That's it. No leverage at all. SPXL and SPXS are the 3x ETFs that mirror the S&P 500. So that's a little bit higher performance. And you can see they don't have 3 times the performance, but it is an increase in performance compared to the standard S&P 500. It's about a bit more than a 2x. Public video, which cover what you're saying here. I'm pretty sure this video is public on YouTube. Okay, so then you got Bitcoin. Bitcoin's successful.
Next comment.
What? There's a comment. And
Oh,
I'm
I
not watching the
said
YouTube.
something about public videos.
Yeah, it should be public. This video is public. That's why Josh has the super chats going and all that stuff. Anyway, if you go down with the Bitcoin, scroll down with the Bitcoin, it says 118%. The dashboard actually did the best with Bitcoin. It was incredible. It takes more trades. There are more flips. You have to be active with it. But if you scroll down, keep going, Brian, there's this cool infographic that Josh put together. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So you see a big infographic. Did you pass it already? Maybe you gotta go back up. Go up. Go up. Quickly up. No, up. Is my microphone not working? You gotta go up.
It's it must be that high quality Vietnamese internet.
Yeah, it's so bad here.
Oh, I see. It looks
okay.
like this is done twice.
Yeah, it's just reiterating some stuff.
Okay.
So go to the infographic.
Infographic. What's that? Is that this one?
It says 87%. I want to show the win ratio.
87%. There's BTC. Okay. 89% for the QQQs.
No, it's an infographic. It's a graphic.
Okay. Oh, this one here, this. Yeah, this is a cool image Josh put together, right?
Yeah. So this is the, oh, it's the S&P, Josh? I thought it was Bitcoin. Okay, so this is the S&P. So the S&P had an 87% win rate. I thought it was Bitcoin, but it's the S&P. It's pretty incredible. I know that win rates are important. People like to, if they're using some sort of algo, they like to know that they can trust the signal. And Josh went through and made this infographic where it zoomed in to basically every trade and how it kind of worked out before you took profit. So very, very, very cool to see. this, and I think it's great. So I just wanted to show it, and you can see how we only get out of the trades when it crosses like bullish, we enter the trade and we exit the bear trade. And then if it goes bearish and we're in a bull trade, we exit the bull trade and we enter the bear trade. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Bitcoin win rate was, but it was still extremely profitable, even more profitable than the S&P, probably because it moved a lot, to be fair. Bitcoin had, Bitcoin's down a lot more than the S&P. So, and then we can go back, Ryan, if you can go back to the options on the S&P performed incredibly well. I used this site called optionsanalysis.com to run the back test. And that allowed me to go back to any day in the past year and pretend like I was buying options at the average price for the day. And then I set some criteria for those options. So we've got two different ones, 10% of the portfolio invested at a time in each option. And then we've got another one that did much better, which was 20% of the portfolio invested at a time, and a stop loss set where if your option goes below 50% loss, you exit completely. If the option price goes over 50% profit, you move your stop to break even. And you can see how on at least one trade that saved you. You came out at a 0 loss versus 674 on the other one. If you look at the different 10K starts. So you can see how well the options did. Options were chosen at the money options. I tried doing out of the money a couple different ways, and I found that at the money options work the best. So I recommend that. And then going in with the understanding that the options can lose a significant amount. So you can see some lost, two lost pretty big amount, 180%, 167%. But then you've also got big winners where you had 350% on one option, and another one had 160%, another one had 235%. And that allowed for massive, insane returns when you add it all up. Actually, the best strategy I found was when you invested, you had whatever size portfolio you have, no matter what size of the portfolio, you keep the investment static, the amount that you're going to invest, because you never know exactly what's going to happen. But what you do know is that you're essentially buying a lottery ticket in a way. And that's how I would treat it. I would trade most of the portfolio with probably the 3X ETF. I think that offers the best bang for your buck, while the options are more like lottery tickets. And I would, if say I were trading a 20K portfolio, I would trade like $1,000 at a time. And that seemed to offer the safest because some of the options went down 80%, but then you got a couple of home runs that went up like 350%. So that's just kind of explains the options data and what I did and what kind of happened for anybody interested in options. And when I went through optionsanalysis.com to do the actual analysis on the options, I went through every single day of that option to look at its price. And you can see at periods it slowly goes up over time, but it's got big ups and downs. But I think that makes sense for options. So just something to be aware of.
That's a cool chart.
I think for people, yeah. So that shows you the different returns, and you see how they mirror each other, but it's just bigger swings.
Yeah.
Like the straight spot is kind of just a steady up, and then the QQ is a little bit more volatile, and then SPXL and S, that's applying 3X leverage basically, and then the options is applying essentially full leverage. And
Yeah.
it shows you different returns.
That's such a cool.
So just something we thought would we thought would be cool to show as a way that you can trade and easily have the tool pay for itself. I think if you trade just SPXL and S with a 10K portfolio within 2 to 3 trades. What?
Can you just say that sentence again? Your
Hello?
audio went a little nuts. So.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry. There's something. Yeah, it's saying my internet is unstable. Fantastic.
Says there could also be a little lag at this point. All right.
Yes. Sorry. So I was just saying, like, what I might recommend to trade. I like the 3X ETFs. I think they offer a decent amount of bang for your buck compared to risk level. That's what I prefer. The options are a little bit, they offered great percent returns, but I do think it's a little bit too risky almost. And if you do it, I would use a static amount of money. I wouldn't scale it with the portfolio because when you do, you get, maybe you had like 5 wins in a row and you keep scaling up your trade size and then you get one of those negative 80% hits.
Yeah,
And that
see
hurts.
the options has some pretty wild swings, but that's typical options. What would be
That's typical
really
options.
interesting is going forward if I point Zach and Joe Z and see if they can use the system to look for spread trades that reduce the cost of entry dramatically. And if you get these home run trades, how does that translate into the spread trading world? You might find that that might be a way to reduce downside exposure. But still, nonetheless, and I mean, let's face it, if you're trading options, that's high octane stuff, people. Don't go getting involved in options. That's half the reason why we don't want people even thinking about options until level 3, is that if you do trade options using like algos, it can be extremely volatile. So, I mean, what I really like is, and this is probably the thing that grabbed my attention. It'll be interesting to see whether we can find 2 times and 3 times bear and bull ETFs on Binance and stuff to do it on Bitcoin. But I really like the idea of using these leveraged ETFs to trade the market. I mean, those are fantastic rates of return. So super exciting. I tell you, we've built the better mousetrap. Now it's just a question of just getting the message out to the world. Very, very pleased with the work the team has put together. And I'll say that, I was wondering, how do we sort of throw all this information into one package here so that you can get a pretty clear idea of what it is that you're getting involved in. And also too, remember, and Julian hasn't done this yet, but what will be really interesting is like when we get buy signals on things like the S&P 500, then with the market in buy mode, you go down through the key reversal screener page and you just go shopping for key reversals. And what is the statistical outcome of buys within the S&P 500 giving you a buy signal, and maybe we go and hunt the leveraged ETFs, or as an alternative, and this is where I think that the real bang for your buck's going to come in, is okay, fine, we've got our big fat buy signals in the stock market. Then you go over and you look while that's happening for key reversals. And it'll take some time to go through the data, but my hunch is that while the stock market is pointing up, key reversal signals will just explode higher. I mean, if you bought like close to the money, these are all relatively recent signals, but if you bought relatively close to the money call options after key reversal signals on sort of DI breadth signal event dates, how did that translate over time? And I have a feeling you're probably going to see some pretty darn big numbers. I'm trying to find signals from back in October here, and then I'll show you. Wow, I mean, like stuff like this, huge move. Just imagine what the rates of return are on options trade on something like that. Yeah. So anyway, gee whiz, look at that beautiful little signal down there. Just gorgeous. Look at this one. Holy geez. If you went and bought a call option here, you're kind of like, I don't know. Woo! Home run. So I'm telling you, I would strongly suggest everybody go and grab this cheap price, right? I mean, it's basically half of the price that we're going to be charging in the new year for this. Just go lock it in, and then that way you got it for the next year, and just be patient. Like I showed you there, all you got to do is you just got to wait for the market to. This is like they say in politics, right? They'll throw up like a softball pitch. It's a big fat pitch, so you can just knock the cover off the ball. So couple. Yes, the market is ridiculously oversold. Maybe you go and trade the index. We get Brent indicators. The entire market is completely washed out. Of course, everybody on social media is insanely bearish. And then you just go shopping, and you might just get literally handed gifts in the marketplace. I got to tell you, man. All right, so the proof of the pudding's in the eating. So get out there and have some fun with this thing and go make a whole bunch of money trading. Sorry to interrupt you there, Julian. My apologies if I cut you off. Do you have a screen share? Do we want to do sort of your regular baby powder report kind of thing here today? What were you thinking?
Yeah, we can do a little bit of report. We can do I was thinking we can do a little bit, and if you don't mind sticking around, I personally enjoy when you make comments and interrupt me while I'm talking and doing my little spiel. I think it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And we have our little
Stuart hates it. Just kidding. He's going, no, I don't.
Yeah, see, Josh said back and forth is gold. Josh, can you
look at that? We got our buddies best adult dating site on the site. Woohoo! So that's kind of cool. And so Eddie just gave us a 50 euro super chat. Hey, Josh gave us a.
Oh my
goodness. Geez, thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it. Yeah, sexy mofo. Happy
Black Friday. We got to read out the super chats. Hey, Brian, are you seeing the super chats?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Josh has got us monetized now, so we're kicking it. Anyway, what I suppose we should do is when we do these shows publicly, and we have the super chats and all that stuff, I should probably throw out, here is the signal of the day. Everybody, one key reversal for everybody, something like that.
Well. So the one thing I wanted to touch on, first, Josh, since you're listening, can you respond in the support channel and send the link for anybody that wants to get the add-on? So if you already have the add-on, because I know there's some people that bought it last year that still have a subscription, and you want to lock in this special lower price, you can actually add on to your existing add-on subscription. So Josh is going to post that link. I think, Josh, if you can respond to the person in the support channel, and maybe also post it in the YouTube if anybody wants it, that would be good.
Yeah, I got to make sure not to swear.
Anyone else got a bug during checkout? After you hit complete my order, nothing happens, but the PayPal account is charged normally. Nicolay, send a PM to Josh, and Josh and Sion will work it out with you. It should be all good, but if there's any small error, we can fix it right away. And you know that we'll get you activated, and we'll make sure everything is the way it should be. So it's the first time going live with this page. Yeah, it's slightly manual process at this time. It's going to be all automatic in the near future. But for now, it's just a little bit manual. Anyway, okay. So Brian, do you want to go through some of these signals, or otherwise I'll just jump into my little spiel quickly? But I'm happy to go through some of your signals if you want.
Well, it's not so much. How do we say this? Why don't we we'll head on back over to you, because I think your report is it's consistent, and I like consistency, and people that are tuning in every Thursday. FYI, if you are watching on the public broadcast, Julian comes in called the Baby Powder Report. It was a holiday yesterday, so things were a little bit discombobulated. But Julian kind of said, well, I'll do the report today. And then I said, well, I'm just, I want to be on the call too. So what the heck, here we are all together. So a little bit different format today. If anything, I wouldn't mind just for consistency purposes, we get your report. So those people that are site members that like your weekly report are sort of brought up to speed with what you're thinking and seeing. And if
Mhm.
once you're done, you feel like you've said your piece, because it's getting, what's the time zone there in Vietnam? Is it as bad as it is in Thailand?
Yeah, it's almost 1 AM. It's okay.
Yeah. So why don't we give you the opportunity to say your spiel and then send you off to bed? And if there's any sort of follow-up following this, if we want to spend some time, just poke around the site, together and look at different signals and stuff, then by all means we can.
Okay,
So,
sounds good to me.
so should I stop screen sharing? Do you want to screen share now? Is that?
Yeah, I can screen share.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing. Boom. Should I stop the video camera? I think I'm still, my face is still on there. Yeah. Do I stop? Oh, look at that pretty picture. How do we get Julian's camera picture on there and remove me, Chris?
Hopefully you're not seeing my face though.
Okay, so I just
Yeah,
disappeared
no
now. So
camera
I'll
from
put
me.
myself on mute and by all means, Julian, you've got the ball. Eddie says, hey, all, where can I find the link for the Breadth Indicator Black Friday sale? So that's what I was kind of wondering, Josh, if you're watching this, I'm not quite sure where we have that on the site. We do have the school Black Friday deal, but there you go. Somebody's already asking how they find it. So awesome. Okay, and on Zoom, do I mute myself or do you mute me, Chris? I'm not quite sure how that works.
Well, Brian, it's okay. You can jump in, comment, anything. I'm just gonna start talking, and then if you want to comment, feel free.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. So you guys know I like to start the highest time frame. So we're gonna go all the way to a weekly. We're gonna go to a monthly chart. Damn, I hate this with this
Just
app
be
when I do
careful when
F11.
you're,
It like,
because of the shitty internet, if you're zooming around charts, it's gonna cause the call to crash, and I can already start to hear the audio cutting out. So you gotta go slowly.
okay. Snail pace. So something interesting about this monthly chart. We came into one of my zones. Okay, we wicked into it and then we seriously bounced. And then these are my two zones up here. You'll see them better on the weekly chart. You can see RSI crossing over. Let's go to a weekly, a bit better here. What's really interesting is on this weekly, we have actually an RSI breakout right here. Here's our breakout. Past two weeks, this big bar was the big breakout. And you see here, we wicked into this demand zone. This was my demand zone I had marked out, and we had an 8. I really thought we'd go lower into this 3200 zone. This was the low area. I thought they'd take out these lows, 3200, stop any longs out. But the market was extremely bearish at the time. However, here's the conflicting thing for me. If we go to a 3-day chart, here's our downtrend channel that I have. And I've had this for quite some time. I'm not going to be moving it. I'm just keeping it here. You can see I can't even move it because it's locked. And if I draw a RSI downtrend line from all the way up here, we're still below the downtrend right here. See that? We didn't break out in the 3-day. That's what's so interesting. And at the same time, we're still going down in my parallel channel. We're tagging the upper end of this demand zone, or this sell side area essentially. And it looks like it's starting to kind of calm down. I think what's really interesting is if we look at what did they do here? Why did we get a big rally here? Sorry, let me move these like controls, or how do I make these smaller? The controls for the zoom are in the way of my screen because I only have one screen. I don't know how to make it disappear, but I'm gonna just move it in the top somewhere over here. Maybe that'll be okay. All right. So getting back to this, we've been in this uptrend since basically the beginning of October. We haven't gone anywhere. And it's nearly the end of November. That's almost 2 months of the market not going down. That was just absolute destruction for anybody in any kind of short puts. Anybody in any kind of long dated short put options got wrecked here. And you can also look at it in as far as the VIX. Look at the VIX. So VIX really determines price of puts. It's actually, look at how it's just been destroyed. It's breaking below the uptrending parallel channel that I had. It's pretty astonishing how well they've and how quickly they've destroyed volatility in the market. Anyone in any kind of options got killed here. Just got absolutely killed. And we're starting to break down through this parallel channel. I mean, if we keep going down, like this is the line in the sand right here, we have to bounce. We need to bounce. Oh crap. Okay, 3-day. We do have a 9 here. And traditionally on a 3-day, sorry for my yawn. Traditionally on a 3-day, we do bounce when a 9 comes in. So this rally is getting to be overdone. It makes sense that they pushed it into Thanksgiving. And you know, it looks like we actually have on VIX, you know, some divergence forming here. Look at RSI. And then look at price. This is price up here, right? Look at that. Look at that massive divergence difference. And we're at the bottom of this parallel channel. No go signal yet for me, but I thought it was important that we touch on this. And what they actually did. And why did they do it? They did it this way because too many people were bearish, myself included to a degree. Luckily, I didn't have that many options, so I didn't get destroyed with that. But the reason they did this is to take advantage of all of retail being bearish. Just crush them, especially any retail and leverage trades, leverage positions. You can also look at, I want to go back to S&P 500, but you can also look at SQQ, which is the short version of the NASDAQ. And you can see how it got destroyed too, right? Just dropped massively, boom, down, quick. Just keep in mind this 3-day chart. Here's the daily, just doing. And now it's trying to put in a W to move higher again. We go back to the S&P. Okay, here's the S&P. Here's the 3-day chart. Let's change to a daily chart. So the daily chart, get rid of this. It's still in an uptrend, right? This is your uptrending RSI line. We're still in the green. Nothing's changed yet. Still slowly working our way up, destroying volatility. And anyone that was in any kind of short options. This was the big holding period. This is when VIX really took a huge jump. You know, we sat here November 11th to November 21st, 10 days. Crazy how you could just sit there and then push higher again. A lot of shorts probably built up in this area. And they just took them out one more time. See how they swept the highs right here? Boom, swept the highs. Now the question is, the last question is, where do we go from here? Do we complete my 5-wave series? This is my 5-wave series. I expected us to get to this 40-70 area. This is the low of the area, 40-50. We got to 40-45. The question is, do we run all the way up to possibly 4100? That's the main question. Or do we roll over here? See, we're still in the green on the 4-hour. Still in the green on the, damn. I hate when this thing does this. Still in the green on the daily. So it's a tough location. We haven't fully hit my targets. But looking at the VIX, looking at this, we can see the turning point coming in here. Can look at, we still have this uptrend line intact, but again, divergence, right? Boom. It's clear as day, the divergence between price and RSI here. Very, very obvious. This is an area where we can start considering shorts. I think shorts make sense here. We'll go full screen. You can consider shorts in this area. The target all the way down here. You go all the way to the bottom of this parallel channel, which is that 3400. And you set your stop at 41, around 4160, I think. And it's a 5-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. Not bad. Not bad at all. On a 3% loss, while you have potential 15% gain. I think it's a great trade. The question just is, will this 5th wave complete up here, or did it complete already? Oftentimes you can measure the 1st wave to see what the 5th wave might be like. And we can see that takes us up to 40, 40.75, which we didn't hit. So can we and will we hit that? So far, it's looking like no. This 1 hour broke down, possibly putting in a W, but so far it doesn't look great. We've got to see. I'm leaning towards this won't end up completing it all the way to the upside because I think there's probably a lot of people waiting to short up here. So the market's just like, all right, well, I'll just turn a little bit earlier and leave you guys all behind. And VIX is at the bottom of the parallel channel. It does, the market needs to reverse so that the VIX can maintain its uptrending parallel channel. So a couple things to keep in mind about what's going on. Let's look at a few stocks, maybe some Tesla, see what's going on there. 3-day chart. You can see Tesla. Sorry, I'm yawning again. I'm sorry. Tesla came down, tagged the bottom end of this parallel channel once, bounced second time, trying very hard to reverse here and performing extremely poorly. But it did take out all the liquidity below here. Tag this zone right here. This would have been a big support level. 182. Let's look at a daily chart. So daily chart would look like this. Tesla looks like it wants to bounce. However, if the rest of the market doesn't bounce, I don't see how Tesla can. Could break down from this parallel channel and then it really takes a big dump. This is the main demand zone though. I think it will get stuck in 150 to 130. I don't see as great of a risk reward return as I did when it was back up here at 300 and even when it was up here at 230. It's just not as good here. There's a possibility it can break down further, but I'm not as enthused about the Tesla trade. What other stock I would like to talk about? Let's look at Boeing. Kind of took off a lot. Let's look at what's going on with Boeing. Boeing really took off. Yeah, so you can see here a divergence is starting to form, potential. Still in this uptrend, it really took off, created a bit of a W that it's testing the top end of the range now with, and seeing if it wants to top out and roll over. I also think on Boeing, shorts make sense. So you can short right where we are, and you set a stop above these highs, and your target can go below these lows. It's just a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, not as good, and you kind of need to wait for the RSI cross. I think taking a trade here is extremely risky. Better to wait at least for the 4 hour to get out of the green zone and start going into the red zone. And then you got a much higher chance of success with the trade when those factors line up. But it is interesting to see how it just went on a tear from 125 all the way to 175. Huge move, huge. I know I missed it. Okay, so that's that. What other stuff I want to talk about for stocks? Oh, let's look at Meta. Meta really quick. Yeah, so Meta looks like it's topping out a bit. Touched its downtrending channel, and now it looks like it's kind of rolling over. Let me change to a darn, what is going on? Yeah, this daily chart. See, it's interesting. It broke on the other side, and then it looks like it's trying to roll back over. Very strange. We do have a gap here. We have another gap here. So multiple gaps. I don't think it looks great. I think you needed to buy down here at the 7-8. You can see the 7-8 came in again there. Maybe we can look at a 4 hour, see what we get. Yeah, you can see the 4 hour starting to roll over 1 hour. Yeah, definitely rolling over quite a bit. So something to keep in mind. Maybe a decent short all the way down to this 97 area, possibly even 90. What is the return on that? If you short it right here, highs above this high, target these lows, 18.2% on the profit side and 7.5% on the loss side. And we can lower that loss a bit. Yeah, 2.5 to 1 risk reward. Not amazing. Again, not as good as it was back here. you know, back in September 2022, it was not bad to short Meta. So that's that. Maybe we go and look at gold. Actually, usually I look at the dollar first. Let's see what's going on with the dollar, because I think
Hey, you want to see a really cool
Uh,
market to, people should be paying attention to?
what market?
The system, says there's a weekly outside upside key reversal in cotton.
Oh, really?
BAL. I'd be curious, I mean, the
BAL,
weekly
alright.
chart just looks absolutely perfect, huge buying volume. Be interesting to see what your sort of daily take on something like this is.
What
uh,
BAL?
BAL, yeah, that cotton.
Cotton sub
It's
index
a
right here.
commodity. And I love this about our platform is that, you know, first off, look at that massive buying volume. Somebody came in and just bought a ton of this, but if you change that to a weekly chart,
Yeah, holy shoot.
you see, this is a outside upside, cube reversal. So you know, I'd be
This one right
curious
here.
as to like, if you get any kind of buy signals on this thing, along the way here, this thing would be a really interesting, long idea. I don't know what the volume.
I would be very scared
justification.
to long this. It looks really negative to me personally. I'd be very scared.
Yeah. So, you know, keep an eye on this, but, there's I mean, like if you pull up your, so your RSI is, has not broken out yet, eh?
On the weekly, no, it's not a fan of this. It's still saying we're in a downtrend.
Yeah. I was curious. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
see.
massive weekly outside. And I also noticed that the corn fund is also putting in an outside upside reversal. And of course, we're heading into the demand side of the market. So something's going on in the eggs. Anyway, I was just surfing through the screeners and I was just curious as to what your thoughts were there on that one.
Yeah, for me, it's still a bit bearish. I mean, I could end up being wrong, but for me, I can't really touch this. I wanna see a bit more structure here, especially come in.
Yeah.
Maybe we come down in this 50 area and then we bounce and then we put in the W and then you can take a long. But for me, it's still in a downtrend.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's look at DXY. This is my big uptrending parallel channel for DXY. You can see we came up, tagged the midpoint, and we could possibly roll all the way down to 102. However, we do have this uptrending RSI line supporting us. We had two different ones. There's that one, and there's this one. And you see how this one broke down, and we came to the next support line. And look at how we just bounced from that. Isn't it ironic how we just bounced from that second support line? Right there. Just like boom, stop. Go to a little bit lower. Here's a 3-day. Here's a daily. Delete this. So even the DXY is still for me in a downtrend here on RSI. I need to see. I do see a nice divergence coming in. So you can see this. All right, while RSI is making a higher low here. And it looks like it's trying to put in some sort of bottom, which would go with the current market thesis, which is the S&P is topping out and the VIX is also bottoming. If the US dollar can rally, then VIX should also spike and then stocks should drop. Good to see everything kind of lining up. Let's go a bit lower time frame. I wish I could easily do that. Keeps like messing up. Yeah, so this is a 4-hour. RSI just looks like a mess on the 4-hour, impossible to read. But just looking at price action, we could get a spike down, take out these lows, and then turn around. DXY is definitely not very clean, at least for me. I don't have any clear trades like some of the other stuff. This one I'm gonna sit out. I don't even think there's a good way to trade this anyway. Let's go to gold. I guess we can look at gold.
So what I'm hearing from you is there's a lot of bearishness in your tone. Maybe you're hunting tops. Here's a fun weekly outside downside bearish reversal, AMZN. Have you ever heard of that company before? AMZN.
Amazon. Yes.
So it's fascinating. I do like the idea that you're hunting shorts. This one's kind of already broken. It's a long way down, but if you pull up the weekly chart, this actually is producing a massive head and shoulders top. And the key reversal signal confirmed the breakdown through the neckline there. Yeah, you can see the outside downside reversal came in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So here's a really good example of the weekly key reversal signaling system.
Yeah,
I love weekly key reversals. They are just the shit.
It doesn't look great, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's awfully tough to short something like this down at the bottom, but I think like if you pull that weekly chart out and zoom right out, you can actually see a massive head and shoulders that actually is just firing off of this event here. Surprising. You gotta go way out. Yeah, so I would draw like the left shoulder off of the highs from July of 2018. That's the left shoulder. And the neckline is that upward sloping trend there. Sort of. Yeah. Squiggly line theory for the win. That's okay.
Something like that.
If you want, accurately this here is the I'm not quite sure how to do this, but I'll just put it in the lounge. You can see that. There is the Amazon chart. And what's fascinating is the weekly outside downside key reversal signal is right through that neckline, which is super cool.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. Right here.
Yeah. So I love when the weekly key reversal signals. That's why, I swear, this is, you want to make money from trading. You want to justify the purchase of this subscription. These weekly key reversal signals, I've never seen a more powerful trading system. And it's just one simple candle that just spits up just absolutely insane signals. That's actually one of those probably sound bites, right? YouTube. This is the most incredible signal since the last key reversal signal weekly signaling system. Something like that, right? I have to do it with a German accent, though.
Yes, exactly. This is where running these portfolios would be so cool because we could have like a key reversal portfolio.
Oh, I swore. I messed up. I'm not supposed to swear, but yeah. Darn it, yeah. I mean, I can't wait to use this.
We could easily have a key reversal portfolio. We could easily have a spot SPX QQQ portfolio, a 3BX ETF leverage portfolio, and then we could even have an options one just for those high octane DGen people.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So the sky's the limit. I'm just as I'm going through the screener, I'm just looking at all the various screener signals. Of course, Josh did that beautiful write-up on key reversal signals. And I'm just going through the database and just sort of seeing what recent weekly signals are produced and what are their charts looking like. So that's why I mentioned that cotton on the bull side, Amazon here on the bear side. And I like how clean these signals are. Also, too, what I really like about the key reversal system is that when the signal actually comes in, you get a day or two just to, you actually have specific levels to work with, to work your orders. And a lot of times they just, you'll get the signal in your signaling system, but because it doesn't confirm, you don't do anything. Super cool. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun demonstrating this over the next few years. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's awesome. So can I talk about gold a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so gold had a huge breakout. Talk about, I'm not sure, Brian, 100% if this is a bullish key reversal. Would you consider that right here, this big weekly candle?
No, no. Key reversal,
No.
it means that the price opens up below the previous 2 weeks low.
Ah,
and
right, okay.
Closes above the previous 2 weeks high.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay.
That would just
Well,
be, it's just a nice double bottom breakout. In fact, you could
yeah,
probably do like a little up channel off of those two lows and then project it against that high. And my hunch is we're probably right at the midpoint right now.
yeah. Well, you can see we ran into my 50 EMA weekly moving average and just like pushed down after hitting that.
Yeah, like,
We're just kind
you
of
got
struggling
that
in this
blue
area.
channel, right? So now you could do an up channel if you wanted to.
Maybe on a daily chart. It's a bit early for me to draw a parallel channel, but you're saying like this?
Yeah, and I would do it off of the high from back, that previous cycle high of August there. So drag it. Well, no. Oh, well, anyway, I know you draw your channel slightly different than what I do. But yeah, okay. So that little double bottom that just came in there. It looks like you're projecting off of that double bottom. It
Yep.
explains why we stopped where we did right up top here recently.
Yep. So it's a decent little, I mean, I could see us pulling all the way back to here. 1650, wick down, touch the underside, get a dollar rally and gold reverses. And this is your entry for gold when we pull back to down here. And then we can take off. I think gold's getting ready to take off. I think it's gonna get it's gonna have an astronomical run. It's been showing that gold pulls back first and then later it takes off when nobody's expecting it. Like once the inflation story is gone, gold will actually go up. When nobody's
Well,
paying attention to it anymore.
do you have a web browser handy?
Yep, but I'd have to switch my screen share to the web browser from this.
Okay, well here, I'll just see if I can do this quickly. I'll just.
Maybe you can share?
Well, I'll just put the screen image in the lounge, and then if you want to show it on your screen, it's up to you. But if you look at equityclock.com and look at seasonalities, and actually we did this the other night. I can't remember, it was a recent, I can't remember what show it was, but anyway. And we were looking at the metals seasonality. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we were looking specifically at silver. And actually, it looks like silver's outperforming gold. So I don't know. You used to be a big silver bull eons ago.
Yeah, I mean, I still hold silver. Having bought it at like $12 long time ago. Still holding it.
It'd probably be a good idea to look at a whole bunch of gold stocks in here. Anyway, maybe finish your conversation about what you're seeing.
Well, where did you post that?
I'm still trying to find the darn chart here.
All right, why don't you find it and I'll finish what I'm seeing in gold.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
so
this
it looks like
probably
it
corresponds with what you're seeing.
Yeah, so I think the gold market's getting a little bit tired. You do have this support line, so we could pull back. I can see us pulling back into this area here, 1700 area. Maybe if DXY really takes off, pull back to the 1640, but first pit stop would be 1715 to 1700 before we potentially roll over further. And then you get your big explosive up moving gold. I don't see us taking off in gold unless the dollar really tanks and I don't see that happening either. But it's not an easy call. It's not, because you also have things like this 4-hour where it actually broke out and it looks like it wants to push higher here up into this 1800 area. So mixed signals based on the time frame I'm looking at, unfortunately, which is kind of what seems like the name of the game is in this market right now.
Well,
so mixed signals across the board.
Perfect. That's perfect for your analysis, because if you pull up that gold seasonality chart that I posted in the lounge, then what you see is we have typically a window It's about the first or second week of December. Alan Greenspan once famously used an expression, irrational exuberance, which sort of described kind of investor over enthusiasm heading into December. And usually the market needs to pull back the first or second week of December. So that would be perfect for your, yeah, there you go. So you see that little pullback there, the first, second.
Yeah,
week
look at
of
that.
December. So
Yeah.
as soon as you get any
Yeah.
kind of W's, and my hunch is that our signaling system will start spitting out buy signals in gold stocks.
Yeah, probably.
You see that little, in fact, exactly where your mouse is. You see how there's a little W right there?
Yeah.
Right. As soon as you get that W signal, that's your time. And then look, right, you see what happens the remainder of December. And then look what happens into January, into middle of February.
Yeah, it just takes off. Boom.
Yeah, so that's your rally window
Shoot.
that you were saying. You're it, and I remember in years gone by, you've done really, really well in the gold market at the beginning of the year. I've seen you do it like a few years now.
Yeah, I've done
So,
it 2 or 3 times.
yeah,
Those
so
are
if
my best
anything,
portfolio gains.
here comes another big fat gold seasonal trade here, folks.
All right. Time
Somebody-
to go 100K to 1 million. Let's do it.
It could be. Well, so like what I would suggest is, and this is where TRI screeners just kill it, is, Canada and Australia, of course, are major commodity countries. So we want to scroll down and we want to look for, bullish key reversals in things like gold stocks. And what I thought was really interesting was, Canadian key reversals. 11/21, there was a signal in Ivanhoe Mines, IVN, in Canada. So that's a bullish key reversal, and that's got to be happening right about now. That was Monday. So that's a mining stock. And I would just simply keep your eyes peeled. Cisco, pull up this one. This one's beautiful. OSK in Canada. This key reversal signal came in at the very end of September, believe it or not.
Maybe, Brian, maybe you should share your screen, because I think people are just looking at my gold screen with nothing.
Yeah, can you punch in that symbol? Is there any way you can punch in that symbol, OSK?
OSK.
It'd be interesting to get your perspective. It's Canadian stock. That's
wow, look at this. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Oshkosh. That's something totally different, but interesting.
well,
And actually, this is an
broke out.
interesting commentary on the retail sector right now. Yeah, Cisco Mining. There it is. Yeah. So boom! Look at that beautiful key reversal. Can everybody see that? Whoops! Go back to your weekly chart there. Right, weekly key reversal. Look at that
right here, right there.
Yeah, but pull up the RSI. That's gonna make you crap your pants.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
So can you draw your downtrend line on your RSI? And where did the market spit out buy signal? Brian and his RSIs, he's big on the second W coming in. So you can see the first W stopped the bear. The second W comes in right there, like literally. And that's a key reversal bar. And what letter of the alphabet is that right there?
W.
I mean, are you here? Are you here, people? Are you here to make money from trading? It's up to you. I mean, that's about as bread and butter, an outside upside key reversal, double bottom breakout, RSI, second W through the 50 line. Let's go make some money from trading.
Okay, I think we just got a clip for the video. I think we got one. Good job.
If that is it, that's my whole bloody life's work right there, folks. Right there. And this is a gold miner. What a surprise.
Yeah. Look at these breakouts too. If you just drew downtrend lines, look at the retests. Look at just test, boom, take off. Next one stops, test, and then just move higher.
Right. So that key reversal came in a little while ago. I mean, you could come in here now, but do you think it's a good idea to buy this now? Good point there, Jonathan. Excellent. And then we just had our talk about seasonality and the gold market. And what did we say about the gold market and the beginning of December? Yeah, so, and squiggly lines for the win, squiggly line theory for the win. Looks like Julian's basically painting our future. So
I think I'm a little
I
bit.
don't think it's a good idea to come in now on something like this, but if you want to like sort of add it to your watch list, and this is what I would say for all TRI members, is we know that we're coming into the metal seasonal bottom. So pull up your weekly key reversal signals, your daily key reversal signals. I see, for example, I mean, do you want me to give you another one? I think this one's interesting.
Sure.
But again, these signals they're about 2 or 3 weeks old in the metals, but HBM in Toronto. Now you tell me, would you like to get this signal to buy where the key reversal came in here? And this was a daily one, so even sexier, because this is sort of like your lower time frame trader. Look at that big honking key reversal there. So again, and look at your RSI. Look at all the W's coming in right on that key reversal bar. So you can see where the uptrend in RSI is starting. So if you're a fan of Julian's RSI, rock and roll. And look how that thing just key reversal and it just took off like a rocket. And this is actually what's called a gap and go. So anybody who's taken our education program, you should look at this chart and you should say, well, I see a really big bullish bot setup. And that the bot levels should actually give you exactly where you should have entered. And ironically enough, it's right around the day of that key reversal. Then you have a massive gap higher the following day. So a break of that gapping bar is actually a gap and go price objective as well. And this is a cool one because again, we know that the seasonal weakness here into early December, this to me looks like an inverted head and shoulders, where the left shoulder is the low from May. And if we pull back into the first, second week of December here, we probably fill in the gap. I would even sort of like use the key reversal level as probably a pretty good place to be hunting to get in on this thing. So again, this is just, I mean, you get the key reversals in your email or, now on, I guess, just on the site, just pull up the site, you just peruse through and you instantly have a shopping list. All right, so we know we're going into a metals bull. Let's find the assets that are spitting out key reversals. On the screener, we should be able to build, please give me a list of RSI signals. Whoa, what happened? Julian, are you still with us? Okay. Well, Franklin Delano, he's gonna guide us through here. We got somebody obviously was like, wow, these kids broke the stock market. You better kill their feed. That's funny. All right. So my apologies. I didn't mean to break the call here. Okay, should I screen share? I guess I better screen share. I'm not quite sure what happened to Julian. Screen share. So, all I'm doing here is I'm just sitting here going through, let's let this thing load up. Is it screen? There we go. Yeah. All I'm doing, and look how Sjord has built this, like big fat green arrows. I mean, how much easier do you need this to be? I mean, it's just so beautiful the way this has all been put together. So all I was doing was I just, like we said, Sjord had Julian had identified and you want to put my camera on there? I suppose we can do that too, Chris. Mind you, Julian didn't have his camera on, did he? Anyway. So all I did was I just went through what are the most recent key reversal signals in Canada, because of course Canada is a heavily commodity country. So if you have a seasonal pattern like gold being bullish here, well, might as well go to the horse's mouth.
I'm back, by the way. Sorry. We can definitively say that Vietnam is quite a bit behind Bangkok when it comes to infrastructure. Because in Bangkok,
the signal has to go through the rice paddy, right? Oh, that's terrible.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
All right, so like what I was just doing here was just simply showing. I mean, if anything, if we're metals bulls, and actually I gave a shout out to the Aussies on the site, and I just said, "Hey Aussies, are you still interested in Aussie stocks? Should we stop following this?" I mean, I really like this because in essence, Canada and Australia are the world's commodity currencies. So, in essence, everything that happens, and this is why I asked to build the dashboard out this way, so we can see the big sort of blue chip, right? The industrials, transports, utilities. Then, to get an idea of what the heck's going on in the world, this is sort of the North America engine. This is the European engine. How's Europe looking these days? Are they feeling overly optimistic? It's pretty bad, eh? And now here's Canada, right? We talked about the gold market coming into its seasonal window, and there's Australia. So you can see, and this is an interesting commentary on the whole world, sort of the world's health. The United States is interestingly enough kind of out on an island right now. The rest of the world's equity markets are not happy at all. And of course, this makes perfect sense. This is exactly what's supposed to happen in a greed cycle, which is a core concept that we teach in our basic education program. The United States of America should vastly outperform the rest of the world here for basically the next 15 years. So get used to it, folks. Anyway, so I don't even, and look at crypto. Geez, crypto sure had a nice little pop there. Hey, like I hope some of you were able to take advantage of this Litecoin. I couldn't believe how that thing popped up the other day. Look at that. Holy rallies out of nowhere. In fact, anybody who could come in here in the 40s, you might have actually got a double off there now already. Anyway. Okay, so Julian, are you back now? Are you comfortable? Do you want to continue your presentation? You're on a great vein there talking about gold. Oh, did we lose him again? Yeah.
I'm here. I think it's working. I'm here.
Okay, would you like to continue your presentation?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's up to you. We've already been going
Just
for
hope it.
You want to call it a day, we can call it a day.
Well, I just hope it hangs in there. I mean, I'm fine. I just hate that it keeps disconnecting.
Okay, well, I'll stop screen sharing and we'll pop back on over to Julian's world.
All right. A little bit more with Julian, and then I'm just gonna do gold, and then we'll jump into crypto, and then I'll call it a day from my side.
All right. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what your perspective in crypto is, right?
Yeah, so here was the other thing I wanted to say on gold. On the 4-hour chart, it actually looks bullish. So this is my 4-hour chart. Yeah, we broke out, we touched the underside, and now look at it reverse. Look at it pushing higher. I'm not sure with gold. I want to get a pullback. I want to get it to the 1640 area, but you know what? It might just not give it to me. It might just do this. It might just go right up to 1900. Give you not a single chance to get in. Very possible scenario with gold. Just shot straight up 1600 to 1780, basically, 150 points, and now it's just going to keep going. 17 to 18, 1900 while nobody's paying attention still. Everybody's expecting the pullback, and it just goes on a tear. So right now gold is bullish. I want to get a pullback because I'm not in gold right now. But you can see everything's green across the board on this RSI indicator. I have every single indicator all the way up from the weekly to the 5-minute. You can't go down when everything is green. See it even reversing here. Went 1745. Now it's up. Yeah, I don't have. I want to see a reversal in gold, but I think that's just my emotions getting in the way. I think what could really happen here is we just push up.
What is that? That's yeah, like I could see a bullish continuation pattern. The W has been put in. This is actually a really good example of like a textbook bot setup. So the big wide W has been put in. Yeah, and now you can start botting this thing out for trend continuation.
Yeah, exactly.
Boobity boo, boobity boo. Do I have 3 higher lows? Where's the 25 level? We've broken the downtrend line, right? And your RSI is trying to, it's broken. Has it broken its downtrend?
Yep, it did.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
it's broken there. You've got 1 kilo, you got 2 kilos. Be interesting to see where the 25 level comes in here. Because yeah, I think you're right. There might be a nice little momentum trade here. The only thing that I would say is just be
I would call it
mindful.
big. It's a big move.
Well, this is off of like an intraday chart, right? So like I said, you could probably bot that out. And when we're done the video, maybe I'll bot out the levels and just throw you where, if you're interested in being long gold, where you should probably be hunting. But this probably corresponds really well with that seasonality chart, that there's some sort of peak very beginning of December. Notice Julian's date there, the 5th of December. Keep in mind that I guess that's basically next weekend. The 30th of November, JoJo's birthday is next Wednesday. So yeah, 1st, 2nd of December, that's Thursday, Friday. And then probably maybe through that weekend or something, there's some sort of inflation shock or something like that. And the problem with that, of course, is that we know that the Fed is meeting on the 15th, which is basically, so what I would expect here is that this bullish scenario plays out into that early December. Then we start the consolidation process, and then around the Fed event is probably shortly thereafter is where the gold market.
But isn't Brian, this is the opposite of what we talked about. Well, this is the opposite of what we talked about though, right? Because we said the end of November and first week in December should be a pullback.
Well,
no, maybe I guess maybe it was early this year, and this was the pullback.
Pull up your that seasonality chart. You notice that the peak comes in, it looks like the 1st or 2nd day of December. So this rally here would be perfect, because keep in mind the 5th is like a Monday, right? So the 1st, 2nd, that would be the very beginning of December, right? If you pull up that gold seasonality chart again, it doesn't top in November, it tops right at the very beginning of December, which would be right in line with what you're projecting there.
Hello?
Well, can you hear me? Chris, can you hear me? Is it me?
His internet.
All right. Julian's having some trouble. If anything, all you people on YouTube, you got such a special treat here today. Lucky we're doing this as a public broadcast. Come and join this site. At the very least, do the 30-day trial, and I'll point the bot entry levels in the lounge. And then if you want to take this trade, you've got the levels.
We promise we don't normally have internet issues like this. This is a rare event.
Yeah. And somebody's asking you, why are you in Vietnam? We probably don't want to answer that. Well, it's nothing nefarious. It's just, yeah, he's being a tourist.
I went on a trip with two of my friends. So my one friend, his visa was expiring, and he wanted to travel somewhere and asked me if I wanted to go. I went to Hanoi in Vietnam before just to travel. And I thought, a lot of people said good things about Ho Chi Minh, and I thought, okay, I'll try it. The coffee is really, really good. The food is really good, but the internet sucks. So yeah, that's.
Are you in the north or the south?
That's in the south. Ho Chi Minh is in the south. Hanoi is in the north. Hanoi was great. The internet was quite a bit better there. But the pollution is really bad. It's right next to China. The pollution was very, the first couple days it was good, but then the pollution got really bad, and I hated it. I was like, my eyes were burning, my throat was burning. I'm like, this place is horrible. I want to go back to Thailand. I want to now that COVID's over, I want to do a little bit more traveling. Like in the new year, I'll go to Japan. I plan on going snowboarding in Japan for a couple weeks. Yeah, and so that should be fun. So I'm just, I'm trying to do a little bit more traveling, experience life outside of Thailand to help me appreciate how good Thailand is.
Cool.
Because Thailand is third world prices. Well, actually, I would say second world now. Second world prices with first world infrastructure, at least in Bangkok. Bangkok really is the infrastructure is to me, in my opinion, very similar to a first world country, and in some ways better. So yeah, that's the
All
little
right,
rant
cool. So you
on
got a
Southeast
nice
Asia.
little, you got a nice little travel summary there today too. So we should put together a little pieces. Chris, can you maybe tag today's video, Julian's global adventure? Today's report, Vietnam.
Where in the world is Julian?
Yeah, cool. There you go. And if anything, yeah, Jonathan says the life of a trader. That's the one good thing about this, folks. If you're patient, you're disciplined, you set yourself up, you build your business plan, you can do this business plan anywhere. In fact, Chris, I think Chris is planning on trading on the back of a camel, if I'm not mistaken, in January. Isn't that right, Chris? There you go.
Oh my God. Okay.
What a life.
Okay.
Eh? Why wouldn't you join TRI? I mean, this stuff writes itself.
Oh God, too crazy.
All right.
Yeah, so this trade, so gold could take off here, especially if DXY dumps. That means the market's going to take off too.
Well, into
I don't know,
the
interesting. Definitely
into JoJo's birthday, right? Then once JoJo's birthday comes along, all bets are off.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Isn't it your
To be honest,
birthday
I don't want
around
that.
here?
I don't want that to happen. My birthday was 13 days ago.
Oh, geez, happy belated. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I always remember that you and JoJo were born around the same time of year.
Yeah, November 13th. So yeah, it's okay. I don't want gold to take off. I want it to pull back because I want to get in and I want to ride the big rally. But yeah, it looks like you could get a push higher. However, we do have this. No, the daily still looks good too. I was trying to find like where's my bearish case, but there isn't much. There's this 1 hour chart that doesn't look amazing, but everything else looks pretty great. We'll see in the new week. I think the market's kind of dead here. I don't expect any big moves till next week. I think that then things are gonna really move. Speaking of, but there's one market that never stops.
I think the U.S. market just closed a
crypto
half an hour
market.
ago too. Anyway. So.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Yeah. Let's get on to crypto.
Stops.
Crypto tastes great.
Crypto. Oh, and now my computer battery is running low. Fantastic. All right, I got 6%. So this might let me go to a 3-day. Here's my big crypto downtrend. Okay, there's my channel that doesn't look right. Why is my channel so big? Why is it like that? It doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm not sure why my channel is like that. Should be like up here and down here a bit more. It's not, this channel is not the way it should be. I'm not sure what happened here. Okay.
Oh, did we lose Julian again? Dun, dun, dun.
Most of the drum.
Hey, there he is. He's back.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Testing. Reporting in from Vietnam. Hello.
Hello.
There's fighting. Oh my God. Okay, so this is my late wave theory for crypto. We've got our wave one down, 2 rebound, 3 all the way down. This is the biggest drop. The wave 3 is always the biggest. Wave 4 slight rebound. The high of the rebound was actually here, but I pulled it out here to show like the timeline. But the high is here, and now I'm expecting we're in wave 5, which I expect to go all the way down here. This zone, 0.886 of fibs of the entire range brings you to 480. We're at 788 right now. If we go to some lower time frames, 4 hour, you can see crypto's just sitting up here. This can honestly really go either way. It might do something like
it's too bad. Julian's turning into a pretty good trader. Just shitty internet. Yeah, we'll all say a prayer for Julian's internet. Yeah, he's got. So the problem is if he's zooming in and out, and I bet you, does he have his camera on?
I give up. I give
Oh,
up.
there he is. Oh, he gave up.
I give up. I give up. You just take over. You talk about crypto. It's a waste of everybody's time. I'm sorry, guys. Be better next week, promise.
Oh, it's all good. Let's
I
see
should be
if I
back
can
in semi first world country.
semi. Unfortunately, looking at that chart's not really overly enthusiastic, is it? So, if anything, I hope you guys made a couple bucks on the Litecoins and some of the other names that popped up here. It's just, actually, you know what we should do here? We're not showing anything, eh? We better at least screen share here. So, okay, here we'll just go like this, we'll go like this. Okay, so at least we have something on the screen here for you. I wanted to show you my breadth, crypto breadth, and then that will have the total and stuff on it. So give me a second. Where are we here? Tabs, macro, Bitcoin, internals, Bitcoin, BTC. Where the heck is it? Well, I guess it's not over there. Just give me a second here, folks. Sorry. Macro, Bitcoin. Where the hell is crypto? It's my internals. He's totally caught flat-footed, eh? Sorry, everybody. Where the hell is my breath? Darn. Ah, fudge. I don't have it in here. Just give me a second. Crypto. Fudge. Too many charts, eh? Holy moly, this is ridiculous. What the hell is it? Damn Bitcoin trade metrics? I don't think that's it. This is worse than crappy Vietnamese internet. This is Brian just wasting your time. Ah, darn. Oh. Too many charts. Okay, well, I guess can't do it. All right, well, we'll start from fresh. What the hell? New layout. All right, put all that nonsense away. Okay, so the one thing that I wanted to show you all was, let's see if we can replicate Julian's, I think it's BTC.D, right? Isn't that it for the dominance? Market cap dominance, there we go. All right, so this study, I guess what we used to, I don't even know. Does that make sense? Daily chart. I remember, why can't I find Amanda Huggin Kiss? My standards are just too damn high. Well, now what have I done? Where the hell did the days go? There we go. Okay. If anything, I suppose we have to be a bit concerned if this thing starts trending higher. So it was rolling over, and I guess that was sort of the conversation that we had recently about the altcoins outperforming. We would ideally like to see this push to new lows. So dominance wise, we don't really have BTC outperforming, but if we go and W out here, and if this is some sort of inverted head and shoulders, then we'll probably start to go back into crypto winter. What's the total market cap chart that Julian was looking at? Does anybody have that symbol just offhand? Anybody remember what it is? Total? Okay, there we go. All right, so the total crypto market cap, as Julian was kind of suggesting, lower highs and lower lows defines a bear market. And actually, I did like what I heard him say there, Elliott Wave. Historically, Elliott Wave, and if we just do sort of the big one, Wave 2 to 3 should be the biggest move in Elliott wave. And then if we go 4 to 5, then it's something like that. And what ends up happening is the 2 to 3 creates a massive like momentum push. If this is your momentum indicator. But the 4 to 5 is a smaller push. So as a result, yes, price moves to new lows, but the momentum indicators usually don't. And this starts creating that divergence concept, and Julian in his RSI studies. So, I don't necessarily teach Elliott wave because Elliott wave is incredibly subjective. And so many brokers I've known over the years have gone, well, I guess I just got my count wrong, right? And the guy goes, I guess I'm just going to move my account out of your brokerage house for getting your count wrong. So it's very difficult to get these counts exactly precise. Congratulations to Julian if he figures out the secret method. But I do, if it's something that you can take to the bank and something that you can really try and learn, and if you like Elliott wave, is just keep an eye out. The rule for Elliott wave is that this move here should be the biggest move of the series. And what it does, as I often tell people, what we want to see are when indicators make higher lows while the asset itself is making lower lows, i.e. divergence. I think Julian showed you a couple examples of divergence on some of his charts today. So point being that, and especially if we're making lower highs and lower lows just on balance, which it looks like, unfortunately, this is. Do we go through this low here? Let's say survey says, actually, I was watching Richard Dawson, 1974 match game episodes yesterday. Anyway, that was Richard Dawson was a longtime host of the Family Feud. Anyway, you can see that we are still painting lower highs and lower lows. So this is not an overly bullish chart. Unfortunately, what this does speak to, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I believe, actually, what? It was such a cool example, I have to say. I just have to give him props. Since we're doing this as a public video, I think this was a really, really good analogy. I was so impressed. This is a newer gentleman. He's just joined the site over the past year or two. I think he's become a pretty integral part of our community. And gotta say, I had just the privilege to get to know him in Portugal, and just a fantastic human being. But you can think of Amazon as a really good example of a .com stock. The days of the .comers. That was this. And unfortunately, this is kind of what we're going through now in crypto, I find it incredible, the all through here, the scandals, like this is through this bear was when things like pets.com blew up. I don't know whether you remember pets.com. You have to be around a while to remember pets.com. I'll tell you that much by crackers. But he, how can I show you this? If I go like this, he overlaid a BTC chart over this. The good part about this is I think BTC is very similar to Amazon. Amazon made it through the crap. I suppose we can get all that stuff out of there. Need any of this. Whereas, of course, things like pets.com, that would probably be your Sam Bankman-Friedman guy. What's really sad about our current society is it looks like Mr. Bankman-Friedman guy has actually bought enough politicians that he's probably going to get away with his crimes, which is so sad. I saw on social media, he's actually casually mentioning that, oh, he's going to be presenting and speaking at the latest blah, blah, blah crypto conference. And people are like, you got to be kidding me. You should be fucking, hanging from a rope from some tree or something. the community itself absolutely shocked at the fact that he even had the audacity to show his head. At least Do Kwon had the professionalism just to lay low for a while, but this guy's so arrogant and so, and the one thing that bugged me when I listened to his video is he kept saying, the crypto maxis are kind of like, screw the fucking 1%. No, we don't want to go down this road. And he kept saying, okay, I hear you, but right. And then he would go on with his regular thing and just drive you crazy. I hate that guy. Anyway, so one of our site members, I won't name names, but he made this historical comparison, and I gotta say, man, this is spot on. And unfortunately, so that you can see what Amazon had to go through to finally reach its bottom. And this is where they say, you can't push a chain, right? You have to wait for it. And unfortunately, it looks to me, like we said, making lower highs and lower lows. And you could probably also do this it actually might even be interesting to do this for the total. Right? We might even get a better idea of the crypto market cap. Yeah, interesting. So this might be something like looking at the Russell 2000 through the .com peak, but same sort of logic, right? And, if you were sitting here in like December of 2000, which actually I think is incredibly, what's the word? Timing of cycles. This is spot on, because I remember distinctly, interestingly enough, at the very beginning of 2000, the very end of 1999, everybody was all wrapped up in the whole Y2K stuff. So it's fascinating how, through here, this 2021, everybody was wrapped up in, sort of COVID, and, sickness and all that, and not really thinking about sort of like bigger picture, and really wrapped up in very short-term things. And of course, interest rates were at ridiculously low, historically low, insanely low levels. But the problem is if you just came to investing right now and you saw over the past 5-10 years, you would think that zero interest rates is actually perfectly fine. But no, zero interest rates is historically ridiculously abnormal. So anyway, we're going through the process of cleaning up the interest rate market. Jupiter Saturn cross. Oh, what a surprise. Jupiter Saturn cross here. Jupiter Saturn cross, like 6 different celestial events, once in a million years, all that talk. Anyway, so interesting how Julian pointed out that, probably we need to make our wave 5 now. And I think that's what this is, right down in here. And what's going to suck about this is what I'm really worried about, is you notice like Amazon, for instance, what's the letter of the alphabet that we need to see that tells us that, okay, the bottom is in? Magic letter is W. And you can see, it was pretty obvious. If we put the volume away, where did the W actually come in, right? No W, no W, no W, no W, no W, no W, W. Half of joining TRI and learning how to play this game the way you're supposed to, right? Run your small business of trading. Paul, for example, fantastic analogy of our students who basically now understand this whole game and are just doing this absolutely perfectly. Treat this trading like a business, right? So point here is, we got to see W's. What do you think the odds are that through this period here, we started to see bullish divergence start to develop on the indicators? I'd say probably pretty good. So yeah, we can see, let's do that one. Yeah, there we go. So you can see RSI, you heard Julian talk about RSI down on this move down into here. RSI is actually making a higher low. Willie, my favorite indicator for oscillation, making a higher low. MACD histogram making a higher low. So lots of signs of divergence, beautiful W's. In fact, we had well, actually, we didn't get it here in the OBV, but great looking W's in Williams percentage R and RSI. And as I said there just a moment ago, the final sort of piece to all this is, can I please get W's in price? I think, sharpshooter, you want to try and pick bottoms. That's what you want to see, is that W action. I'd also say two things like you got to wait for trend lines to be broken. So, that was broken pretty quickly, but, then we go here and you can just sort of walk your way down these trend lines. So, nice. In fact, that's probably the perfect one there. So don't take the trade there. Wait for the W. Notice how the market walked its way down the trend line here. This is what often happens with these trend lines. And then we get a nice clean W fully on the other side of this trend line and brand new bull market. Also, too, and you want to make it really simple, this is kind of what we want to see. And I think you will see this over the course of 2023, which I think is going to be very similar to 2015 that we saw in Bitcoin. Is you're going to want to start to see sort of this structural anecdotal evidence that the market has officially stopped going down, i.e., higher highs and higher lows over a long, prolonged period of time. And this is what, in fact, actually somebody was even mentioning that I mentioned this recently, and they like this. This is this concept of a saucer bottom. Notice how long that base took to form, right? This is like that's a 2-year window to go from I'm an ugly bear to I'm a bull. Think of this as 2022, 2023, and then heading into 2024, I'm back to being a bull. So you want to put sort of like a time horizon on how long this is going to take to play out. I think this is a pretty good roadmap. Like I said, the gentleman who mentioned this study, I was very, very impressed when I saw this. Solid work. So something along these lines. Now, does this kind of thinking line up with what fundamentally should happen in this space? Yeah, somebody just said, what about halvening? There you go. You're reading my mind. When does the halvening supposed to happen? Oh, somewhere right in here. So you can see, let's just take our saucer bottom. Although if I do that, it's not going to work. It'll paste it over 2022. So anyway, we'll do same size, something like that. Boom, 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 something like that. That's not outlandish. It's very, very similar type price action. Obviously you can sort of zoom it in, zoom it out, but you get the idea. And interestingly enough, does this correspond? Actually, I just had this on the screen a minute ago, so maybe I'll just pull it back up. Does this correspond with sort of what we're thinking about how this crypto cycle should play out? And I think actually it corresponds perfectly. I've talked to you guys about this before. We got to get through 23. Benner Cycle said 22, 23 suck, and 23 is the bottom. So if you can just be patient and disciplined, and now, Julian talking to you about Elliott Wave, you can kind of see that. This one, as we sort of said there, or at least I said there a few minutes ago, usually the wave 3 is the biggest of the Elliott waves. So is that the biggest wave there? I don't know, maybe. But something like that, and notice that, maybe that corresponds with those kind of lows there. And then we start going through the process of actually forming this Y. This is called an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And guys like David O on the site, he loves doing these kind of chart patterns. And this is what I think that our future is going to look like. Why do I say that? Because it's fascinating. Actually, you know what? Probably the easiest way is, I think, and this is total, so maybe let's flip back on over to Bitcoin. I think this cycle is going to look a heck of a lot like, and we'll do maybe a third one here. Where would the third one be? Maybe like that. Let's go like this. Put all this stuff away. Just do something like that for now. And what I think this cycle is going to look like is this cycle. Cycle, motorcycle. Nope, that's not what I want to show you. Let's see, BTC, USD. Yeah, we can use stamp. Stamp's nice and reliable. All right, something like that. So I've shown you these charts before. Let's see if I can just quickly show you that. That's on the Wednesday shows. I talk lots about this. All right, you've probably seen this. Well, no, not that one. Anyway, there is our halving event. No, it's somewhere along here. There it is over there. That is that saucer bottom 60 at 1.8 to 78.6. Ben, if you think about Benkoff checks, his bottoming window, we are into that window. This window, unfortunately, goes all the way to June of next year. That's not the chart I wanted to show you. The chart I wanted to show you was. I thought it was that one. Huh. I don't think it's this one. Let's see what we got here. Hey, there we go. That's the one I want to show you. This is basically this image, right? And I've talked to you guys lots. I really like the market bottoming exactly like this. Interestingly enough, these bottoms often look very similar. And of course, you know, we're what, 70-80% off the highs. They're basically giving away Bitcoin like that other chart I showed you. Public has been destroyed. There's our halving event. This is what this bottoming process should. I'm not going to say will, because obviously, you know, nobody's got a crystal ball, but it should look, and I think it's going to look a heck of a lot like this 12-16 cycle, especially with the fact that we had the initial pump here. This is, I guess, around the Silk Road event, and that aligned perfectly with dog money pump kind of idea. That was sort of this event. And then our ultimate peak there came in November, December, and it was a peak about DeFi, not really about Bitcoin, which, if anything, should have been a major warning sign. And actually, that's another interesting historical comparison. I remember distinctly through this market. And actually, you know what? Oh, God, this could be another half an hour. I don't want to... Sorry, has anybody got anything to do for the next couple hours? Because I could just keep talking endlessly. But no, I should probably wind this up. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that historical comparison. This is that 15 cycle. This is what I think this cycle is going to look like. So you could start lining these things up. This was Amazon, and this is this gentleman's sort of comparison. This is Bitcoin. How did that .com bear market play itself out? Amazon was going to survive. They actually had earnings, whereas things like Pets.com, see you later, that's Do Kwon, that's Sam Bankman Dickhead. And, you know, that's just the way it is. And if you don't understand venture capital, then you got no business being in this space. And frankly speaking, you know, most of these people that are getting destroyed because they believed in SBF or SB, whatever, what is it? Sam Bankman, SBF, yeah. They're idiots. I mean, like pro football players. When was the last time a pro football player was a good investor? I mean, come on. I mean, it just drives you crazy. So these people convinced themselves that this wasn't venture capital. Well, frankly, isn't there an expression about something about a fool and the fool having their money taken away from them or something like that? I mean, frankly speaking, I find it laughable how people keep coming into crypto and they keep thinking it's blue chip and they keep getting destroyed and they don't realize this is venture capital. So as a result, it's up and down like a horse drawers. I mean, that's just the way this business is. Anyway. Okay, so our historical comparison, Amazon made it through the .com bust. And I think Bitcoin will do perfectly fine. The irony of all of this is even at $16,000, I would even say Bitcoin is still trading above its cost of production. So, and we all know that commodities like to bottom at or near their cost of production. So if we use the Amazon analogy of what does a bottom in this space look like, and we understand Benner cycles, and we understand, I mean, I don't want to get, too much derailed here, but, you guys have heard me talk lots about this, so this shouldn't be anything new to you whatsoever. If you actually understand the cost of money cycle, believe it or not, this is actually, the cost of money is actually stunningly predictable. So this is just a very simple sine wave: cost of money trough, cost of money peak, cost of money trough, cost of money peak. Keep in mind, this is an inverse of yields. These are prices of fixed income short-term assets. But the point here is peak, trough, peak, trough, peak, trough. I mean, it's actually stunningly cliche. So peak, Benner cycle, the end of 2019 was supposed to be our cycle peak. So there is this is the lowest interest rates are ever going to be. And a lot of people, of course, are critical of the US Federal Reserve Board and say that it's the Fedsters that are driving the bus, when in reality, it's the market that's driving the bus. The Fed is the purple line here. The market itself is the orange line. And you can clearly see the orange line is leading the purple line. So this is what drives me crazy about this, is that nobody in the public understands this. The Fed isn't making the decision to raise interest rates. The market is making the decision to raise interest rates. Anyway, so if we think about these cycles that are extremely predictable, you can see that our trough comes here in August of 23. August of 23. Let's say that one more time. August of 23. And then we go back to our cycle charts and we see that, where would August of 23 be? That would be right in there. Notice, look at our 12-16 cycle. Look how the market actually confirmed that very wide double bottom in just about August, right? August would be there. That would be the end of the Fed raising interest rates and them actually starting to talk about, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll start lowering interest rates. I don't think we're going to be lowering rates anytime soon, but at least maybe we just get to the point where they're just not raising interest rates so aggressively anymore. All right. So slight tangent there. Sorry about that. All right. So back to our study. August. So here we are. This is sort of real time. I think that this is a perfect historical comparison. In fact, actually, we might even just, let's move this up. How do we do that? Maybe I go move chart. No, I don't want to. Oh, maybe. Let's see what happens if I go forward. Hey, there we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see if we can line this up here. And the thing is, we get all skewed because of these higher prices over here, but I don't want you to get distracted by that. Right, there we go. Nice. All right. Yeah, maybe something along those lines. Yeah, I like that. That actually works pretty well. So you can see this is November, December 2014. And Julian just talked to you about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. We've just broken new lows. We're probably in that fifth wave. And I remember distinctly this bottom because sadly, unfortunately, we did, this was when we started our very first education program on the site. And of course, there were a lot. In fact, actually, I think I showed you earlier. I don't know where it was. This gentleman. He was actually part of that inaugural class. And he and I've known him basically since the first day I got into crypto. But there was another gentleman, actually, we even named a setup off of the site. We called it the Ron Jeremy setup, and it was off of him. And we had this final dump, and it was the perfect quote unquote capitulation. And unfortunately, Nick kind of lost it, which sucks. I mean, he made a bunch of money on other names following, so I think he did all right. It's interesting. He actually moved to Thailand too. So there's some sort of coincidence about all that, I suppose. But anyway, perfect analogy of capitulation. I mean, basically, he freaked out, sold all his Bitcoins at 150 or something like that, just terrible price. And then, of course, was totally angry at me. And I was like, well, why did you panic sell? You basically sold into the bottom. Way to go. Unfortunately, I think we're in that pretty much similar environment, which sucks. I mean, this is capitalism. It's so painful to go through. But, just keep in mind, everybody, especially all of you, there's about 20, 30 of you watching here today. Just remember, today's bear market actually sets up tomorrow's bull market. So, and if anything, this is a really good example. They say that, the people that do really well in this world, they will delay gratification for today for an anticipation of payment tomorrow. And, just think about it this way. I think this is a perfectly good example. I think Bitcoin's going to do exactly the same thing. But you tell me, if you were an Amazon shareholder, number one, would have been a good idea to panic dump through here. I mean, you probably shouldn't have been buying up here anyway. Brian, I tried to convince people not to buy Bitcoin at 50, 60 G's, but that was almost impossible. Should you be panic selling your assets down here, or should you maybe be accumulating? And, you tell me. Goodness, I mean, this is painful to see, but and interestingly enough, we were talking about Amazon spitting out sell signals. I would make the argument that we're going through exactly the same thing here. There's actually not much difference. You could even take this price action just for fun if you do like watching Amazon. I'm not really a big fan of Amazon, but anyway. And we just let's go from this cycle here all the way to that bottom there, right? And let's just take that study and let's project it 20 years down the road. Do these silly human beings, do they repeat their behavior over time? Well, I think you know what the answer to that is. I mean, it's kind of sad. They always say, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that's exactly what I think's happened here. It's just basically we're doing the same things over and over. Just, what you have to learn, all of you, is that this behavioral pattern repeats decade after decade after decade, and probably century after century after century. Come on, you. Anyway, something along those lines. I can't get this to line up very well. Yeah, all right. So something like that. Come on, you jerk. Anyway. We'll leave it at that for now. Anyway, so could this be a similar scenario here? Notice down, up, down, up, down. Gee, doesn't that look awfully familiar? I mean, it's almost identical in a weird sort of way, eh? And then also too, if we think about Julian and his, there's so many conversations to have with you here. I'm a huge fan, and I think I've told you guys this before, that I'm a huge fan, especially people watching in the public, of things like the moving average cross system. So a huge sell signal there on Amazon. Beautiful. What are we supposed to think if we ever see the market smiling at us? And oh, by the way, Mr. Bezos was selling just ridiculous amounts of stock all through here. Actually, what's funny is you go on the insider transactions. It was so long ago now that you don't even see it on the public reporting pages anymore. So I would make the argument that Amazon's actually going to do exactly the same thing that it did last cycle. And Amazon will be a buy again when it starts Wing out. And hopefully you can see, this, that inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? That's what 22, 23 is going to look like. And as I had sort of said there with regard to Bitcoin, the great part about it is you guys all have a really, I just screwed it up again. Let's put that back. Anyway, Bitcoin has a really, really cool fundamental marker. that will just simply say, all right, we're done the bullshit. Now we can start heading back up. And you know that it's right about there. So fascinating. You can see how and I think this cycle in Bitcoin is almost identical to that 14-15 cycle. And you can see, I think there was a second Silk Road government auction here, and the halvening event, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was actually somewhere right around here. So totally cliche. And frankly speaking, I don't see any reason why this is going to be any different. It should be almost identical. And as I had said earlier, if you want to use a stock market proxy to try and help you see this, here, let's just get rid of all these indicators. Amazon, I think, is an excellent proxy. And unfortunately, what it means is, we're not quite out of the woods yet. There's going to be a little bit more of a slog. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a fun study. Hopefully that's a nice dovetail to what Julian was talking about earlier. Now, the interesting thing about what's going on here is that, try and just remember this. Did Amazon go out of business through this event? No. So should we expect Bitcoin to go out of business through this correction? I don't think so. But the marginal ones, especially it turns out that and ironically enough, this FTX, it's no different than roly-poly-oly. And that's what's shocking is that, this kind of a fun little joke. I don't know. Let's see. Sam Bankman, something like that. Sure, if we do that, we'll probably get an image. All right, there he is. Hey, actually wore a suit one day. That's impressive. But what's fascinating is, could we make a historical comparison to, and actually I got a funny feeling they look almost identical. And actually it'd be interesting to see what he looks like now. And I bet by the time it all plays out, this guy's not going to look anything at all like he looks right now. But could we make a historical comparison to Karpelès? And what was interesting, see, geez, the similarities are shocking, eh? So this is what he looked like when he was running Mount Gox. Anyway, and on this side we used to call him roly-poly-oly. But the similarities are shocking, aren't they? That's good. And the interesting thing, of course, is he was thrown in a Japanese jail where all they do is eat rice for like 10 years. And so now he's all grown up, and at least he's not so roly-poly-oly anymore. But isn't it interesting, the comparison? They're quite shocking, eh? Anyway, that's sort of a facetious comment on Brian's. So just the point I'm trying to make with all this, and I'll probably wind it up here because I've been talking way too much today, is just try to understand there's nothing new about what's going on here. Nothing new at all. This is market cycles. It's just the way these damn markets work. And keep in mind, the one message that I'm going to leave off with you is, were institutions buying Joey Diamonds? I mean, Joey Diamond, oh God, do we even want to get started with him? Were the Joey Diamonds and Goldman Sachs's and all those kind of people, were they buying these assets up top here? Remember I told you Mr. Bezos himself was actually publicly stating he was selling. I mean, he was selling a lot of Amazon stock up here. But do institutionals buy up markets? If you don't know the answer to this, you're watching the free program. This is a huge part of our education program, is to try and teach you the difference between institutional players and the public. And the answer is an unequivocal no. Smart money is actually shilling to the public all sorts of new sexy funds and this time it's different and all that kind of fun stuff. But what you have to understand is on the exact opposite end of the equation are institutional players, sellers of these assets in these bottoming windows. We don't have the Amazon on here, but we could definitely even just go like that, right? This whole bottoming window. And can you think like an institutional player? We all know happening events, so we know what happens through those. And of course, that is that historical comparison. Hopefully what you can see is that this actually made a very pretty like monthly W. So the problem with capitalism, and I'll just leave it at this, is, how do I do this? Like that? Hey, there we go. How do you read this statement? And unfortunately, there's no right or wrong way to read that line. It's not like it's subjective. It's entirely up to the way that you look at the universe. I can absolutely tell you without a shadow of a doubt, in my eyes, opportunity is actually now here. This, like we said, this market is likely to put in some sort of saucer bottom. Exactly where the low is, well, I mean, that we might as well create like a raffle and predict the bottom. I mean, one person will be right and everybody else will be like, oh, way to go. Maybe we should throw in like one, I won't say Bitcoin because that'd be $16,000 bet, but like even a buck into like a community pool. Because that's really like those guys that are like saying, I'm going to predict exactly the bottom or exactly the top in markets. That's a mug's game. You can get into that, but we're not here to be crystal ball readers here. What we really want to do is we want to try and see this, right? And have ourselves well entrenched into the market by here, so that when this happens, we get into those life-changing events. That's what we want to do as good investors. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, hell, kind of like that Amazon story. There's a beautiful little W down in here. Could you sneak your way in there? That took balls, but man, that was a hell of a trade. Then, all the stuff that we teach in the education program, this was just the most absolutely beautiful gift of a pullback buying opportunity. And interestingly enough, this dump had absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin, which is another one of your tells why this was such a good buying window. So you can try, if you want to try and become a sharpshooter, we can teach you those kind of skills. But I would say on balance, what you really need to see is this big picture. What you need to see and to make money over the long term in your life and your participation in the market is you got to see the big picture. So can you come in and just slowly accumulate through here? And it's not rocket science. If you want to wait for the W's, it makes life a hell of a lot easier. But the point of the matter here is now is when you have to start paying attention. Thank heavens we're not in this anymore, because I was sitting here pulling my hair out day after day going, we got this ahead of us. What the hell do we do now? And unfortunately, half of my job was you just got to slow all of you down, put your money away, learn how to build a business out of this, learn best practices, learn 3 unrelated reasons to justify you acting in the market. And, if you did learn all that, then you'd say, okay, well, at best, Brian, and if we pull up our indicators, 3-step process, location, indicator confirmation, price structure. All right, we've got location. We're definitely in reload zones now. We're starting to build indicator confirmation, bullish momentum divergences, really stupid, etc. So now really all we're waiting for is, can I please have a nice, pretty little W to start framing my bullishness? Look at all these interesting. This fun little indicator that an old site member, I guess, built up top here. I mean, this is so awesome. Look at all these bearish divergences. Yeah, we probably should have cooled our jets. Trade location, you're at the top end of the range. Bearish momentum divergences. I shouldn't be buying this. What am I doing? Now we're at the bottom end of the range. Look at all these bullish divergences. This is crazy. Look at the list. This stuff writes itself. So anyway, I'll try and stop talking now. If you need help building that plan, that's the whole reason for our education program. You guys are getting a ridiculous. I mean, this program is way too cheap as it is. But now you're getting an absolute gift where we're knocking another $100 off of this for this Black Friday deal. You know, it will be $1,100 in the new year. So if you want to join the education program for January, you're going to be paying $1,100. You might as well just pull the trigger and get it done. And I actually have had a lot of people say, you know what, in this stupid hyperinflation market, I'm just going to go pay this now, just get it done. And then that way I'm grandfathered on the site. I can go slowly. I mean, we give you a term or two to you know, take a break between programs. But the long and short of it here is the way that I look at this right now, and this has got to be my final statement, is I believe that this is screaming to you, opportunity is now here. So can you take advantage of opportunity? It's up to you folks, but that's the way that I interpret this right now. You got to get going here. You got to build your plan. You got to get ready to rock this thing. Okay. Try stop talking. Thank you very much, Julian. I don't know. I think Julian probably fell asleep. It's getting pretty late in Asia for him, and poor old Vietnamese interneting. Don't complain over there. You might find yourself in a Hanoi hotel. Have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. We'll see everybody on Sunday for another exciting broiler chicken show, and we'll probably do a lot of this review as well. Try to take advantage of the offers as they're available here, and of course. And I got to tell you, man, this algorithm that we've built here, the DI breadth, and then, of course, all our magic signaling systems that you're never going to find anywhere else in the world. I mean, this is next level stuff, and really, you know, just try and take advantage of it if you can. All right. Have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. All the best, and bye for now.